Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. This is an early edition of the Citadel. I had some early meetings this morning across the beautiful oceans, and so she had to be up very early and ready to go. So I decided just to take this opportunity to do the reading for the Citadel today. As you know, we are on the science of getting rich. We are on chapter 9, how to use the will. How to use the will. Let me get my screen up here. Here we go. All right. How to use the will. To set about getting rich in a scientific way, you do not try to apply your willpower to anything outside yourself. You have no right to do so anyway. It is wrong to apply your will to other men and women in order to get them to do what you wish to be done. It is as flagrantly wrong to coerce people by mental power as it is to coerce them by physical power. If compelling people by physical force to do things for you reduces them to slavery, compelling them by mental means accomplishes exactly the same thing. The only difference is the method. If taking things from people by physical force is robbery, then taking things by mental force is also robbery. In principle, there is no difference. You have no right to use your willpower upon another person, even for his own good, because you do not know what is for his own good. This is so important. We want to fix and change and help everybody. We can only fix and change and help ourselves. But we help people. That is just a byproduct of helping ourselves and being our best. We help people because we're an example. We lead by example, not by force. That's good. You have no right to use your willpower on another person, even for his own good, because you do not know what is for his own good. The science of getting rich does not require you to apply power or force to any other person in any way whatsoever. There is not the slightest necessity for doing so. Indeed, any attempt to use your will upon others will only tend to defeat your purpose. You do not need to apply your will to things for them to come to you. That would simply be trying to coerce God and would be foolish and useless as well as irrelevant. You do not have to compel God to give you good things any more than you have to use your willpower to make the sun rise. You do not have to use your willpower to conquer an unfriendly deity or to make stubborn and rebellious forces do your bidding. To get rich, you need only to use your willpower upon yourself. To get rich, you only need to use your willpower upon yourself. When you know what you... Let me try that again. When you know what to think and do, you must use your will to compel yourself to think and do the right things. That is the legitimate use of the will in getting what you want. To use it in holding yourself to the right course, use your will to keep yourself thinking and acting in the certain way, which we read about yesterday. Do not try to project your will or thoughts on your mind your mind out into space to act on things or people. This is so important. Do not try to project your will or your thoughts or your mind out into space or to act on things or people. Keep your mind at home. It can accomplish more there than anywhere else. Use your mind to form a mental image of what you want and to hold that vision with faith and purpose. Use your will to keep your mind working in the right way. The more steady and continuous your faith and purpose, the more rapidly you will get rich because you will make only positive impressions upon formless substance. You will not neutralize or offset them by negative impressions. The formless substance receives a picture of your desires and allows this picture to penetrate. Oh, how fun. I'm just going to continue this. The formless substance receives a picture of your desires and allows this picture to penetrate to great distances, perhaps throughout the entire universe. I just got kicked off Facebook, but we're going to continue for YouTube. So the formless substance receives a picture of your desires and allows this picture to penetrate to great distances, perhaps throughout the entire universe. As the impression spreads, all things are set moving toward its realization. Every living thing, every inanimate thing, and the things yet uncreated are stirred toward bringing into being that which you want. All force begins to be exerted in that direction. All things begin to move toward you. The mind of people everywhere is influenced toward doing the things necessary to fulfill your desires, and it works for you unconsciously. But you can check all this by starting a negative impression in the formless substance. Doubt or disbelief is as certain to start a movement away from you as faith and purpose are to start one toward you. Doubt or disbelief is as certain to start a movement away from you as faith and purpose are to start one toward you. By not understanding this, most people fail when they try to make use of mental science to get rich. Every hour and moment you spend in giving heed to doubts and fears, every hour you spend in worry, every hour in which your soul is possessed by disbelief, sets a current away from you through the whole domain of the intelligent bred to keep them alive in their wretchedness, or gives them an entertainment to make them forget for an hour or two. What? Let's read that again. So the poor do not need charity. The poor do not need charity. They need inspiration. Charity only sends them a loaf of bread to keep them alive in their wretchedness, or gives them an entertainment to make them forget for an hour or two. But inspiration will cause them to rise out of their misery. If you want to help the poor, demonstrate to them that they can become rich. Prove it by getting rich yourself. This is why we all need to be the best we can be in all areas, aka rich. Fully rich in all areas. And by just being that inspires others, that teaches others how to live. Lead by example, my goodness. Get rich. This is the best way that you can help the poor. The only way in which poverty will ever be banished from this world is by getting a large and constantly increasing number of people to practice the teachings of this book. People must be taught to become rich by creation, not by competition. Every person who becomes rich by competition kicks down the ladder by which he or she rises and keeps others down. But the person who gets rich by creation opens a way for thousands to follow and inspires them to do so. You are not showing hardness of heart or an unfeeling disposition when you refuse to pity poverty, or to think or talk about it, or to listen to those who do talk about it. Use your willpower to keep your mind off the subject of poverty and to keep your mind fixed with faith and purpose on the vision of what you want. That's so important. That's powerful. So you're not being mean or harsh by refusing to, feel sorry for the poor, including yourself. For example, just today I was talking about, helping people that want to help the world. There's a lot going on right now in all areas of life, all around the world. And we all know it. Fires. Things are burning down. And the majority of people are screaming, fire. Fire, fire, fire. Talking about what's wrong. And they're right. Absolutely. And it needs to be spoken. We've seen it. We can see it with our eyeballs. We can hear it. Fire. I pray, and I hope I am a part of this team of bringing water buckets. So once you yell fire once, just start bringing water buckets, solutions. Bringing solutions to the table not just another witty way of stating what's wrong. We don't need another eloquent, smart, intellectual explanation of what's wrong. I mean, perhaps that helps people understand it, but in how many ways, or how difficult is it to understand that we need solutions in many areas of life? Bring water buckets, bring solutions. Pay attention to the next conversation you have with anybody, no matter what it is. Ugh, hello, there's a lot of conversations, water cooler talk, just chatting. What podcasts are you listening to? What content are you listening to? Are they talking about the problem, or are they talking about solutions to the problem? Talking solutions and forward fixing, dousing water on that fire, whatever fire it is? Or are they just reveling in how bad the fire is? And I don't mean revel in a good way. I don't think anybody enjoys this. But I think we can get addicted to screaming fire, and we find some sick power in, I can describe the power. Now, my view of how the fire is just, don't you get it? Don't you feel it? Wow, fire, fire, fire. It's like, no. I'm sure you get the hint. Anyways, this was an absolute pleasure. Although I got kicked off Facebook, it's okay. I'm still on YouTube. My favorite platform, YouTube University. All right, guys, that was it. That was the finale of the finale of this week. So that was chapter 9. We're going to continue next week. And I think we should finish up next week. But yeah, I think we'll finish up next week. And I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you all tomorrow.